they're looking for a dwarf who is rumored to be somewhere in this complex that you've entered, but how the rest of you fit into the picture isn't entirely clear yet. Um, but you're not alone here anyway. You have discovered that the ruins of the Gauntlight keep outside of Otari have apparently been taken over by a tribe of midflits, little gremlins um, that usually live deep in the ground, as Artur has shared with you, and that are sort of arch enemies of kobolds. But you've seen the half desiccated body of a kobold just outside the main building of the keep, and a slurk, which is supposed to be a favorite pet of the kobolds. So there are signs of kobolds maybe haven't been around here too, especially with the rumors in town that kobolds have also been spotted below some of Otari's buildings in warrens and tunnels. Um, but you don't really know the whole story of it. All that you know is that the Midflits are apparently mischievous, out to trick you, because they've tried so already, and they are also apparently trying to train little maggots, at least one of them, that attacked you in this big hall that we find ourselves in. I'm going to activate the scene, so everybody should be finding their way here eventually. And once again, I would ask you to set your volume levels to the right volume. We should hear some ambient sound.
What was the name of the little minion things? Maguire?
Midflit.
Midflit.
Yes, that's how I believe Artur described them to the group, because he was both able to talk to them in Undercommon, and he also apparently recognized this kind of creature
How do you
from
spell it?
his experience. Basically, the way it sounds. I'm going to put it in the chat.
Midflit, like a misfit.
Yes. All right. One more interesting detail was discovered last time, just before we left off. There was a secret door in the corner of this large L-shaped hallway um, that you discovered, and behind that one was a small, well, kind of like a nook with what looked like the remains of a teleportation device, some ancient magic that must have been permanently destroyed at some point in the past. But you are working off the hypothesis that this may be part of a teleportation system, probably used to get around the complex quickly, which is a little surprising since this whole keep isn't actually that big. So unless you're really lazy, teleportation seems a bit overkill. But anyway, where do you want to go next?
There are several doors in this room. Should we perhaps open a few before moving too much further into the ruins?
Ottardo just mentioned that the little guys, they went this way, and he'll point vaguely to this direction. The ones from before, not these ones.
Hmm. What do you suggest? To chase them or to get away from them? I'm pretty agreeable with both.
I don't think they're really a threat.
Well, in that case, I suppose we should press forward.
But which way is forward?
Well, I mean, I see at least one way forward, which is forward.
The mask just kind of shifts slightly to look in that direction, considering the merit of that statement.
I mean, is there a fault?
So you're looking at this door. Are you gonna try to open it?
Yep.
All right. You find it to be stuck. Seems like it's just kind of, with all the humidity of the swamp, it must have just kind of swollen and is stuck in its frame. You could certainly give it a push, try to force it open.
He'll give it just one try.
All right. And there's a check for you. All right. So you kind of like throw your shoulder against it a little bit, and it's, as a matter of fact, enough. It kind of like bursts open, and immediately with the splintering sound, it falls out of the hinges and slams onto the floor in that circular chamber beyond, and just kind of disintegrates into sodden pieces. The circular room has smooth walls that are painted a light gray, with no indication of any seams between the blocks of stone that make up the wall. There's a set of iron stairs that winds upward along the curved walls before terminating at a trapdoor in the ceiling, if you'll care to look up, nearly 100 feet above you. There is a red blood stain that glistens on the floor at the room's center, as though a pretty large creature, like something human-sized, bled to death on the floor very recently, but there's no body inside.
I
It
do
seems
hope
we
these are
have
not
blood.
the remains of our...
I'm sorry.
Something obviously moved the body.
I do hope these are not the remains of our wayward dwarf.
Certainly possible, says Ottardo. All of a sudden, as you like eye the puddle with a trying to figure out where the body may have gone, you see a little ripple.
Can I try to see if there are any drag marks that may show which direction they dragged the body?
Sure, give me a perception check. 20. You, what's that? Detect magic. Okay. So first of all, Birke, you don't really see any drag marks whatsoever, but there is a very eerie feeling you get as you inspect this puddle. As I said, there was this kind of ripple that traveled across the surface of the puddle, but the surface itself is weird to you. You would expect it to be like, to get thinner near the edge, but instead it kind of looks like it's like you're staring at the top of a deep pool instead of just a shallow puddle.
That's just creepy. Can I drop a pebble and see how far it sinks?
Certainly, yeah. You can go and fetch a pebble and toss it in there. No, and it just kind of goes like splotch. It sits there in the puddle. You can see it's still poking out. It's not that deep, but still, it like makes your hair stand on edge.
And no magic coming up?
Is there anything above us?
No magic coming up, no.
I look up. Is there anything hanging above us?
Well, I take it this is the actual lighthouse.
Sorry, wait a second. quick second. Okay, yeah, there's no magic. Sorry, what was the question, Ali?
If I can look up and see if there's anything hanging above us.
All right, yeah, you look up, and as I said, it goes up like 100 feet up. And you have to strain to see that little trapdoor at the top where the staircase eventually terminates. Nothing dangling up there.
Okay.
Current
But
is
it's
where you see.
possible that something might have dragged it up there.
Hmm.
All right. There's also a door that leads to the west that Ottardo is standing in front of. Just letting you know.
Well,
And yeah.
Ottardo will give it a try.
Well, you notice that first of all, the door has a little 1 foot square window that's set with iron bars, so you can already see outside, and the door opens easily, and it's just another entrance that leads out to the area around the keep.
Okay. Maybe we should move on, and things will be clearer later on.
all right. Let's just make a note of this and come back to it later.
Yes, get us some more data. That sounds like a good plan.
Oh, witchery is afoot. Ottardo, don't run far away, please. We should stick together.
There is another door here.
Indeed, there is.
Can you
Check.
give it a try?
Yeah, sure. Give it a try. Try to open it, and you see a room where the ceiling has collapsed right in the middle, and it has left a ragged hole in the wooden roof. There are some rotten tapestries. The designs are completely obscured by mold, and they hang in tatters on the walls between arrow slits and ruined side tables. The remains of a fancy dining table lie, mostly pulverized by the fallen ceiling. All right, stop, please. As Ottardo enters the room to inspect what he finds inside, he steps closer to this pile of rubble from the caved-in ceiling, or the collapsed ceiling, and I'm going to ask you to make a perception check, Ottardo.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So what happens is you step into the room ready for anything. Nothing seems to happen. And then you keep on moving, and as you step on the rubble, you hear a little bit of a crunching sound from the little bits of wood and stone under your feet. But then that sound gets a weird echo, and all of a sudden that crunchy sound turns into what is almost like a howl, and a bunch of probably like a half dozen of ghostly figures rise from the rubble in a howling vortex, and you can see that they have the features of kobolds, brutally mangled in their appearance and quite terrifying to behold. All right, so we're going to go into initiative for this. Let me see how I do this. First thing, I need to start an encounter. Why can't I start an encounter? Ah, okay. I'm gonna add everyone. And then I'm gonna roll in. Did I get anyone? No, I did not. Who's missing? Lucca is missing.
I was on there, but now I'm off.
Oh, you can use it just on there? Maybe? Okay. And
It's very handy that you can just roll directly from the tab there thing.
All right, yeah. Roll your initiatives.
Should I keep the previous perception?
Yes, please. All right. So that's that. Ottardo is actually the first one who is able to react to this. But let's see what it is that he can do. Okay, so he essentially steps forward and steps another 2 steps into the room. Sees this like vortex of howling kobold spirits that are rising from the rubble, shooting upwards and kind of dissipating, and then more of them appear from underneath the rubble. And he sees that and he says, restless spirits, we're gentlemen, ladies, we're witnessing a haunt. Don't be afraid, he yells, but he seems kind of unsure what to do about this. So he just moves in for now. The spirits, their turn comes up, and what do they do? Alright, I'm going to need Ottardo and Artur to make a will save. Okay, Artur succeeds critically. Ottardo failed regularly. So, Ottardo, this display confuses you, and you are frightened too for the moment. The next thing that happens... Okay. And Ottardo also yells out in the moment that he critically succeeds. He sees what is going on here, and he witnesses some of the spirits swooping down together instead of spiraling up in this vortex toward Ottardo. And Ottardo, you feel these feelings of confusion turn into a sense of betrayal, as if somebody has betrayed you, and you need to make a will save again. A crit fail, so you take double of this mental damage. So that's 10 points of damage for you as those creatures swoop down. And Ottardo witnesses that, and since he critically succeeded on his save, he has a realization about it, and he says, I believe they are just trying to frighten you with their yowls. Just try to intimidate them. Try to just scare them back. I'm sure they will eventually give up. And that was his turn, and then it's Lucca.
Ooh. Try to intimidate them. If Lucca hears all of this noise going on from the other room, he's going to stride forward as soon as I remember how to do that. Oh, come on. 10.
Oh, I'm paused, sorry.
15. go. Oh, and he's in the way, so he's gonna step a little further here to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And
And sorry, but in that moment, the haunt is going to take its reaction, and you're going to have to make a will save. As more of those kobolds emerge from the rubble, and the yowls are getting more and more eerie.
let me see if I have anything special for. Is it a fear effect?
Yes.
Okay, I don't think I have anything special for that. Will save. Three.
That's a regular failure, so you are confused and frightened.
Confused and frightened. Well, I was about to say there's nothing to fear. But as he sees this whirlwind of spirits, he's gonna do his best to just call back at them and say, "Begone from this place! You no longer belong here." And he'll try to intimidate them.
I think the condition is pretty restrictive in what you can do.
Oh, what is?
So you use all your actions to strike, or you can. First of all, you don't have your wits about you, and you attack wildly. You're flat-footed. You don't treat anyone as your ally, and you can't delay, ready, or use reactions. You use all your actions to strike or cast offensive cantrips. Though the GM can have you use other actions to facilitate attacks, such as draw a weapon, move, blah 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 blah. Your targets are determined randomly by the GM. If you have no other viable targets, you target yourself. So I would say being
Okay, I don't do any of that.
Being so close to Artur, you're probably gonna try to attack him. Do you have a weapon on him? Or what would be your most reflexive way of attacking if you were cornered and had to defend yourself?
I haven't been going through here with a weapon drawn. So I imagine an unarmed strike. I mean, or a spell.
Who walks in a dungeon without a drawn weapon? Are you insane? Do you have a death wish?
A cantrip. If you have an offensive cantrip.
Yeah, I have an offensive cantrip.
Yeah, then that would probably be the way to go.
All right. In that case, Lucca steps into the room. Is so scared of the kobolds that he summons fire into his palm and throws it at Arthur.
He's like,
it's probably more like the kobold spirits are swirling around him, and he just reflexively is trying to drive them off. And as he hurls at a spirit, it instead shoots towards Arthur's face.
That's a great way to explain that. Yeah, absolutely. Especially because Arthur also looks kind of ghostly with his bluish skin. Thankfully, you miss, and Arthur just looks at you and is like, "What is going on? Get your wits about you." That was 2 actions. Okay. So then,
get away from me! Be gone from this place!
I am not the one to fear. Birke.
Okay. I can't see what's happening from here, but I run. And can I run through them? Yes, right?
Yeah, you can move through allies.
And just in here. And can I see the kobolds from here, or is it just swirling mass?
Like there are no individual kobolds really to pick out because they kind of fade in and out of existence. They all form this sort of eerie vortex that you see on the map here. They're like constantly flying in all sorts of directions, appearing and disappearing.
I'm going to apply Monster Hunter. I'm gonna hunt prey on one of them.
Like I said, you can't pick out individuals. It's just this like mass of eerie, ghostly energy that takes the shape of a kobold here and there, but then just as quickly disappears again.
Okay, I see. Somebody already detected magic, right?
No. But
Okay. Because apparently I have arcane sense detect magic as an innate spell.
what? Where? How'd you get that?
No, I don't. That doesn't make any sense anyway. No, and yeah, never mind.
Oh, right. You're a ranger. Yeah.
Yeah. What can I do to try to figure this thing out? Recall knowledge?
Yeah, you could do a religion check, for example.
Yeah, maybe like we talked about it with
Yeah.
someone.
Go for it. Yeah, try a religion check.
I spent a lot of time in the presence of smarter people. Yeah.
Yeah, you have, and but what Otto has said makes sense that this would be a haunt. That's probably why you can't why you're not actually fighting individual ghosts here, but it's just this eerie presence. So it's not like you're fighting ghosts, but it is a haunt, which is a very particular kind of hazard to encounter. And there's usually no point in trying to fight them with sword and spell, really, like not with like energy damage or anything like this. It's usually not how you beat them. Usually you need to figure it out depending on the particular haunt. And I mean, why not try what Arthur suggested? Try to yell at it and make them go away.
Okay, I'll try that. I'll be like as intimidating as I can be, which is not much. But we'll curse at it using some very inappropriate language that my parents would very much frown upon, at least my father.
Okay, so you try to frighten the spirits, and indeed you succeed as you yell those choice words at the roiling mass of spiritual energy. Their howling grows sharper, kind of quivers, and then they all sort of start to get sucked back into the rubble.
And I hope you get rot, scale rot, filthy creatures.
And the vortex disappears. But Arthur immediately says, well, I doubt that that's the last we've seen of them. Lucca and Ottardo, the confusion is only for a round, so you'll slowly, like, with some heavy breathing and panting and your eyes darting after a couple of minutes of the vortex being gone, you'll regain your senses, and so is the fright, and just goes down round by round.
Just happened.
And the room is haunted! Be afraid, run!
Now, calm down, my green friend. I think we've been able to disable it for now. Maybe we should look around for a way to get rid of it once and for all.
I mean, how do you suggest to do that? I mean,
is there anything in the room, like you know, a ritual was cast there, or something to indicate a material component of the hunt?
Yeah, look around.
Yeah, can I roll? Oh, can we roll? I suppose religion to try to decipher it. I don't have religion. And Souma meanwhile will just muse that, like, to pacify the spirits like this, you always need some sort of complicated thing, like solve their underlying issue and pat them on the back on their way back to hell, and we barely know what the hell killed them in the first place.
Well, as you say that, Birke looks through the room and you find something interesting, which is a bunch of tiny bones scattered in the rubble. So you would assume that there's probably something buried in there. It would take quite a bit of time to uncover it, but you could put in the work.
I did hear a crunching sound when I stepped on the rubble.
Yeah, it must be something under here. You just don't find bones laying like this.
Do they look like kobold bones?
Yeah, they're pretty tiny fragments that have just kind of like popped off. It's possible, but you can't tell for sure.
A shame they've been so pulverized. They are mostly useless like this.
Useless? What use would you have for bones?
Well, if they still have some meat on them, you can make a soup or a stew, stock, gelatin. You can use some of it for tendon, rope.
Okay.
I vote against cooking things that we find in the dungeon.
I'm not saying that we should, but if we had to, we could.
I will make a point now of learning spells to create food and water now.
I guess Ottardo will start trying to move the rebel aside.
All right, I'll give you a hand. Otto says and starts clearing the rubble too.
Okay, well, someone will help as well then, in that case.
Birke and Lucca, what are you gonna do?
Lucca will move
Yeah.
some of the lightest pieces of rubble.
Birke will start digging properly.
Okay, so
But cleverly, like moving the large planks that will, like, not just scrambling there.
so like not like an archaeologist just trying to get the rubble as quickly.
Yeah, exactly, but efficiently.
Yes. So
Do inform me if you come across any more intact remains.
Oh, you think you're making a stew?
Possibly.
It takes about 30 minutes of work until Ottardo and others uncover in total about 6 skeletons, clearly kobolds. That must have been crushed when the ceiling came down. If anybody has wants to try the religion check, if you're trained, you can try this.
I think I am.
Yep.
Is that a check to identify or to do something?
It's essentially to make a connection.
Okay. Wow.
Oof.
I am not trained in religion.
Well, you assume that this is just a coincidence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But,
What could possibly kill these kobolds? I wonder.
on top of just the kobold bones themselves, you also find some jumbled treasures just kind of scattered around the clutter there, and I think I can show you. Yes, I can. Awesome. So you should be able to see this, and you should be able to loot it. There's some coinage in there, some gold pieces, some silver pieces, a box with components for a caltrop snare, a wolf fang, and a vial of something that's labeled yum.
Yes, no.
Just so you know, if we click on that vial, we can see its description.
Ooh.
That's good. Why is it not hidden?
You probably have to obfuscate it like that.
Okay.
Unusual liquid.
That should have been obfuscated, I guess. But either way, it would be pretty clear if you uncork it that it's not just something yum.
If everyone is okay, I'll put the gold in the party loot.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
When we see the wolf fang, would we recognize that as like a talisman? Like, would our characters understand what that's for?
Mm, I'm not sure. It is. It has a magical trait, but it doesn't need to be identified as far as I understand. So I think yeah, I would say that talismans are kind of known.
And besides, you
Common
have
concept.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
you have the
Like
detect magic still going on, I believe. So you probably should ping it as a magical trinket.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I guess I won't be picking anything from this.
Look, see, here is a useful bone, says Lucca, holding up the wolf fang.
I see. Well, talismans, sure. Always a useful little trinket.
What does it do?
He'll offer it out. Perhaps, though, someone who actually wields a weapon would find it of more use than myself.
I mean, the fang decor is pretty in back home today, but personally, I'm not very keen on diving headfirst into combat. Birke, maybe you could use it?
Caltrop snare? Seems like the kind of thing that might come in handy in some situations.
And he'll
Sure.
flick it over in Birke's direction.
Much obliged.
If no one else is taking the fang, Ottardo will go for it.
Okay.
Well, that leaves this little curious thing, says Arthur as he reaches for the vial. Anybody wants to have a try?
Of a strange liquid we don't know.
that light in the dungeon for years?
Says with a grin on his face.
Oh, I'm sure it's perfectly fine. I'll take it if nobody wants it.
Mm.
Might come in handy later.
Sure.
And I just casually like stash it in with some other weird stuff I'm carrying around.
Yeah, just try not to taste it until we've had a chance to properly analyze it, please. He says with obvious concern that Birke didn't get that he was just making a joke.
I just kind of shrug. No promises.
Well,
What is this room that we're in exactly with all of these? Like, are these like arrow slits or something else?
yes, they are. You should be able to kind of look outside, I think, through those.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you see the outside through those arrow slits. It's clearly like some sort of outer chamber of the keep. It is hard to tell what it once has been. Maybe like a mess hall or something like that, given the ruined tables and furnitures that are buried under the ceiling's rubble. But it's definitely hasn't seen any use in a long time.
Well, if there is nothing else to figure out from this room, I guess we should move on.
All right.
And
Okay.
Ottardo will try the door to his south.
All right.
Before we go any further, perhaps as a note, should we come across any more unliving entities, it would be best to give me an opportunity to see, well, before resorting to violence against such things, if there's an opportunity for more diplomatic approach.
With undead?
Well,
I can lead the negotiations should such a case arise.
Well, I'm dubious on the notion, but if you're confident on this, you can be my guest.
I do hope, though, that we don't encounter any more ghosts. They give me the heebie-jeebies.
As you start moving towards the next room, Arthur steps up closer to Ottardo and grumbles, "Where did you find this guy?" All right, but open the door, Ottardo. You find another room with a lot of rubble on the floor. It looks like a wooden staircase has collapsed here. Some of it is still in the northeastern corner, and the lower part of it are winding up, but then there's just a moss-shrouded hole. You can see the expanse of the fog fen through a total collapse in a stone wall to the west. There's a dead frog the size of a horse.
It looks obviously dead.
It looks obviously dead. It's sprawled in this collapse, and its back legs are bitten off at the hips, so it's quite obviously.
Sir Ottardo, please don't turn the corner without us.
Alright, so as you start moving into the room, and Ottardo is apparently immediately intrigued by the giant dead frog there, maybe even being a little bit suspicious if it's really dead, despite the fact that it's entirely missing its back legs. And then, indeed, you spot movement. The frog's flesh starts to bulge, and it looks for a moment as if the front part that is still there is about to jump out at you, but instead its back bursts open, and two more giant maggots emerge from the carcass, apparently having feasted on it. And then through their tremor sense, having noticed you come near, and are now looking for some warmer food. So let's get everyone back. Whoops, I'm going to end the encounter first. And then we can bring everybody back in. And you can roll initiative. Or I can also roll for you, but no, you roll yourself.
I'm not starting up fast.
Yeah.
No.
All right,
Apparently
Ottardo?
nobody but Arthur was expecting this.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see what just happened? That was...
Okay. Arthur hears this like sound and just says, "What was that?" And then he walks into the room and spots what's going on, and is like, "Oh no, not more of these." And he quickly is going to have to go back. I have to remind myself how this works for him. So he's going to devise a stratagem here. So he's going to take that action.
You have to pick one enemy, I think.
Okay, I'm going to pick this one. Where's the target? There's the target. I'm going to pick this one. I'll devise a stratagem, which means I'm just going to roll my attack here, and I realize that there is a checkbox for me I can use, which will change the modifiers properly. So I should use this. Turns out that he would hit this way, so he's actually going to take a second action to do this attack. And then he rolls the damage for that, which is 10 points. And he's going to damage... Oh, I didn't select it. And yeah, that's really...
Hey, Simon, where are they?
Hello.
Yeah, the little guy is saying hi.
Hey, good evening there.
So that's a hit. That's some great damage. The thing is badly injured. It kind of just, as it pops out of the frog, it gets nailed by a crossbow bolt. And then the third action is to reload the crossbow. So I think that was all correct this way. and then it is one of the maggots' turn. Actually, this maggot here that was hit.
Just a quick question: Does he do have an extra action for reload? Because it's stride, stratagem, and then the strike itself.
You're right, because the attack would be another action. You're right, and it's stride, device, attack. It's 3 actions. Thank you. Okay, so he doesn't have a loaded crossbow right now. Okay, but as he hits that maggot, it takes its reaction to regurgitate a bunch of that rotten frog meat, and everyone around it. What's this? How can I use this? Okay, thankfully there's nobody right next to it, so they don't have to take a fortitude save. And I guess it didn't have to take this action, but it's good to give you a warning that that's something they do, I guess. So that was its reaction. Now comes a regular turn for this maggot, and it's gonna start to like maggot move forwards to then attack Ottardo. And it's going to, so it's a step, and then it's going to try and gnaw your full, nope, can't do that. It's going to try to strike you with its mandibles. Missing, and then it's going to try to strike you once more. Missing again. Critically missing even, but I don't think that makes a difference here. Alright, and then it's Ottardo's turn.
Ottardo is going to raise his shield. I should get here up to that. And he is going to swing at the creature.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a critical hit. And it's going to take, this is already doubled, yes. So it's going to take this damage. And you kill it. Yep, you cleave it in twain.
Or he split the arrow in twain.
Yeah.
And last action, he's going to glare at the remaining maggot. He knows he probably won't make a change, but he'll just try to convey that it is next.
Okay, you see the weird eyes, like protrusions of the maggot kind of like pop around. They're pretty much blind, and also don't seem to care about the threat. So it is, however, its turn. So it's also going to like kind of pull itself forward on its weird little legs, and it's going to move here and try to attack Ottardo as well, because he's the closest guy. So that was action 1. Action 2 is a strike. And this time it's a hit, so that is 3 points of damage, and then it's going to grab you as it's...
He is going to use his shield block on this.
Ah, okay.
I clicked block. Shouldn't that? Oh, I have to click block and then click damage. Okay.
Okay, so that absorbs the damage, but it can still grab you, right? Because the attack hit.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so it's essentially going to grab your shield, I would say, which is probably just as bad. But for all intents and purposes, you're grabbed.
Okay.
So you grab the target until the end of the monster's next turn. The creature is grabbed by whichever body part the monster attacked with. And that body extends the duration of K, so you can use this cape later on. Okay. Get out the grab ends for the grab creatures. So if I get that correctly, then there's no more penalty for the grabbing creature. Is that right?
I believe so.
From the top of my head, probably.
So, but that was an action, so that was its turn. Birke, you see the maggot just kind of like holding on to the shield, its mandibles, trying to strike at Ottardo.
Yeah. I will attempt to prey on the maggot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, as part of being a monster hunter, whenever I hunt prey, I get a free recall knowledge roll.
Nice. Okay.
So, how could I recall knowledge about this disgusting thing? Could perhaps Morlibin, the wizard from Odd Stories, tell me something about it?
Yeah. Sure. Let's try nature.
Nature. Du-du-du. A ranger with nature? What is this? Oof.
I guess don't need to worry about it. Well, you don't know. Maybe it's some sort of weird crustacean. Maybe they came in from the swamp.
Alright. Well, that was one action.
Mhm.
And my second action will be more traditional, and I will strike at it with my glaive.
I believe you have to move first.
No, she's right here.
Yeah, but the glaive is a reach weapon.
Oh, it's not the same in 2E.
Oh, really?
There's no donut, yeah.
There's no donut. Oh, okay. So you can. There's no penalty for adjacent.
No, I can just
Yep.
take it.
Wow, that's generous. Okay. Why would you not wield a reach weapon then?
They tend to be
Some people
two-handed.
don't make, yeah.
That's really the only downside.
Yeah, but shields are really attractive as an option.
Ah, okay. I see. Okay, cool. All
Plus,
right.
plus you also, I think the other balancing thing is that if you want to do a maneuver, normally you need a hand free, unless your weapon has the corresponding trait. So you'd want either a shield or a free hand to do to trip or whatever.
So it costs an extra action to like let go of the weapon with one hand.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay. Cool. Wow. Critical hit. All right. Roll the damage. 19 points. Well, you just impale that maggot or crustacean, as you would call it, with a brutal stab, and like a bunch of that frog meat falls out. But for better or worse, you killed it before it had any opportunity to regurgitate all of that garbage. So nobody has to roll fortitude saves, because that's just how those rules work. Nice job. All right, you took him out. No more maggots coming out after that.
It's more of those disgusting things.
Anyone want to go through the bodies, see if they're carrying any loot?
No, thank you. I think I'm good.
Ottardo is stepping away from the vomit.
Yeah.
I know why. So for my glaive. This is never gonna come off, is it?
No.
Good job, my lady, says Arthur as he reloads his cross out of combat. Why
Can
don't we
Lucca
have
do a nature
don't-
check on him as he comes in?
Yes. Go ahead. On the maggots or on the frog?
On the maggots.
Mm-hmm. Oh, go ahead.
He is untrained, so I don't know if that has any effect, but he's just looking up. Well,
Well, yeah, maybe they are like crawled out here from the in here from the swamp.
Are we still doing XP?
Oh yeah, of course we are. You're right. Thank you for reminding me. I am going to use this macro here. I have 5 characters in the party, so everybody's going to get 48 XP.
48?
48, yes.
Where do we put that?
On the sheet? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Arthur is going to...
So the macro just told you how much it doesn't apply it.
Yes, exactly.
How much does everyone have? Because I think I just screwed it up.
I have 188.
Yeah.
188, okay. And did the haunt have XP?
You only deactivated it, you didn't really
Yeah.
overcome it. So.
Okay.
Don't want you guys to grind that haunt. You just go into that room and yell at
Why the mere implication of it?
So there's a staircase here.
Yeah, but it only leads up like a couple of steps, and then there's the collapsed remains of it. Otto looks at the frog and says, "Huh, that's odd." And he's gonna try to make an Arcana check, I think. Nope. Then he might also try. He can also try a Nature check. Nope.
What are you looking at?
Horrible at identifying anything in here so far.
It's just
Well,
going.
No, like the decomposing body of a frog, it's not something easy to look like. There's a lot of rot going on and like goo, and it's not like a fresh body. This is matured.
Very true. Time to move on.
There's a
Otto said.
big dead frog.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a pretty sight.
I'm gonna poke my
This-
head out real quick to see what's out here.
Okay, yeah, so you can see the swamp out there. You see the wall of the keep to your left and your right. I think that's pretty much all you can see from here, yeah. But yeah, Lucca, as you look at the frog, feel free to try an Arcana check here.
Ooh, well, I'm also untrained in that, so...
Okay, well. Yeah, no, it's just gross and icky, and I mean, dead frog in the swamp. What story is there to expect?
Yeah, well, actually,
Interesting. That is a critical success.
Do I
But
really-
you're untrained, so I'm going to say
Yeah.
that it just increases your level of success by one. Since you're actually untrained, I don't think that you would have been able to find that out otherwise. But just through sheer luck, even though usually you don't know much about these things, but you're pretty sure that the bottom half of that frog, the hind legs, have not been gnawed off by maggots. That is clearly the work of a draconic creature of some kind. It's been
Yeah.
just ripped off instead of nibbled away.
you know that our leader of extracurricular activities back home, she swore at one point that she will not die until she sees half-ork Linnorm King. So she was a big enthusiast back in the day of killing draconic things, you know. So you see these, like this, the shape of this jaw. It reminds me of one thing, and well, yeah, something other than a maggot bit of this leg. Let's say that. Yeah, the shape of this bite seems to be mighty familiar to me. I can't say which one of those things, but it was clearly something with a protruding muzzle and a lot of fangs.
Well, then I'm glad it hasn't come back for seconds.
Indeed.
While the group are investigating the frog remains, Ottardo is going to ask if anyone has some spare bandages.
Yes, of course. Here, let me help you, says Arthur. He should be able to try to help you. So how does this work? He has battle medicine. You can patch up his.
There is an action for treating wounds specifically.
Yeah, I think he can do just the basic treat wounds.
Yeah, it will also give you an option. So,
It's just to do it in combat.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a medicine check for you. Rolled 16.
I think that's a success. It's DC 15, so that should be 2d8 healing.
All right. I'm going to roll that for you. 14 points.
Wow. Why, thank you, Arturo.
Yes, of course, old friend. Okay. How long does that take?
10 minutes.
That's 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. How are the others spending 10 minutes?
Well, I guess we were ruminating on a dead frog.
Probably.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess. Yep. Okay.
I would
and-
be taking a very rough sketch of the crustacean I just found to show to Worldlink when I get back.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe even Bandy would be interested. You know, I always talk weird stuff with them.
Sure. Okay.
While Arturo was doing all that, Ottardo will be meditating on the events and trying to replenish his focus pool.
Okay.
Which takes the same 10 minutes.
All right.
All right, if you are ready, there are more doors to open.
Indeed. Just, Birke, please get closer. If this room is anything to go by, who knows what we'll find next.
And he gives the door a try.
All right. Go for it.
Yeah.
And it's a small chamber inside.
The
Like
smell.
Yeah. It looks like it was a watch post at some point. It still has a wooden ceiling pretty high above, but there's a thick mound of filth and animal carcasses that have been heaped on the floor and that make the room anything but inviting. At least to you, I should say, because there is a giant fly that is happily using it, the sort of, I don't know what to call that, the sort of trunk protrusion that it has.
Proboscis. Yeah.
And it's just like feeling around all of the garbage on the floor. And as you open the door, its weird eyes pop up, and its wings go, pss, 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 and it is glad to find some living flesh to feed on. All right, so it's right here. I'm gonna put it into combat and add,
wondering what the giant maggots turn into.
there you go. What
I-
maggot?
Yeah, that's exactly what maggot.
God, like my rolls are.
All right. The it is a green and blue fly that you find in there. Like, it's like these sort of scintillating pattern that smaller flies also sometimes have, and it doesn't waste much time, and just moves to attack Ottardo right away. All right, let's see. It is going to fly over to you. And right over here. And it's going to strike Ottardo. I targeted you too late, I guess.
That is a hit.
Okay, then I'm going to roll for damage. That's 6 points of damage, and I'm asking you to do a fortitude save, because you saw where its proboscis has been. That can't be good. 18. All right, but you steel your body against it for now. All right, that's that. Is it Soma? Sauma? How do you pronounce it? Carlos? I thought it was Soma.
I prefer Soma.
Soma. Okay.
Yeah.
Soma.
So yeah, she like clenches her teeth like and under her breath like by the shiny wings of death. No, why are those more of these? But gathering her resolve, she will initiate the Inspire Courage mainly for herself, and then I will target the fly and use one of the rubble pieces from the environment to shoot telekinetic projectile at this thing. Attack.
All right. That's a hit, of course, and it's 9 points of damage that it will have to take. And yeah, it gets badly hit by it, throws it off balance a little bit, but then it stabilizes again. That was 2 actions.
No, that one action to initiate the courage and 2 actions to cast. So that's it.
All right, Lucca.
Lucca, is this rubble like traversable?
Yeah, it is difficult terrain, but it is traversable.
Okay, in that case, he'll kind of like step up and over some of these rocks and debris and just try to get a better line on this thing. And then he is going to produce flame.
You are also inspired courage, so for attack, don't forget, please.
Right. Let me make sure I add that effect.
And does anybody know what it's called now? It's not difficult terrain anymore. What is that? The term for that?
Isn't it
Complicated ground.
complicated?
Or is it difficult terrain? I guess it is difficult terrain still.
Yeah, I think it's still difficult terrain.
Okay.
Pops right up.
Yeah, there it is.
So
yeah.
he's going to produce flame. Oh, let me target it. Nope, that's the damage. That's the attack.
Okay, 22, that hits, and you burn it. For 7 points of damage. All right. Ottardo.
Ottardo is going to start by raising his shield. And then he is going to swing at the creature.
And you hit. And you strike it out of the air, and it just falls down. And it's stop twitching, but you still hear a buzzing sound, but this time coming from behind you, from that large opening where the frog is.
Ooh.
You have an action left.
Okay, so we're still in encounter. Okay. He is going to move this way. And that'll be it.
Okay. Ottardo says, good work, my friend, but uh-oh, he says as he turns around. Looks like we're not done yet. And he moves over here and then readies a shot. He doesn't have a shot yet because he doesn't see anything, but he uses 2 actions to ready just a regular shot. Can't devise a stratagem, I guess. And Birke, you hear that buzzing sound too, but you don't see anything yet. Seems to be getting louder though.
Yeah, but can I tell where it's coming from, approximately?
Yeah.
You said
Yeah,
the frog,
yeah.
right?
Right from that area, like from that hole in the wall, is coming from the outside.
I will move and get behind half cover, or cover if I can. And I can't see because it's not visible, or because of where I'm standing. Can I peek over?
Yeah, I guess you can peek at this point, and you should actually be able to peek using the Q button.
Oh, no. You? No, I just heard a sound.
Yes, you should be able to
Oh.
peek around the corner when you do that. Does that work for you?
It moves a little bit.
Yeah, you should be able to use your token when that is on.
Okay.
Yeah. So you do see another giant fly like starting to buzzing towards you,
Prey.
very far out. All right. Okay. You designate it as a
And
target.
I designate as a target, and I get recall knowledge on flies. So what can I roll for that?
That is nature. So, but do you get that automatically, or do you?
Yep,
because
it's my skill, my class skill, my class feat, Monster Hunter.
Oh, okay. So okay, it's not every hunt prey would let you do that. It's just because
No, it's just because I chose this. I'm the nerd ranger.
I got it. Okay, awesome. Okay, go for it.
So nature.
Nerd.
Yeah, my whole build is basically hanging on like getting critical hits on this recall knowledge, because then it would give me like it would give everyone actually
A bonus.
a +1 circumstance bonus to attack rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Well, this must be some sort of flying crustacean then.
And I would be very like I would sound very sure about myself, like one of those like confidently incorrect. Yes, the crustaceans of this region tend to moisturize in the swamp like swamp.
It's a wicked lobster.
Exactly. Lobsters are just bugs of the sea. And that is a fact.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That beat up all of you. Have one left.
I have one action left,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to be I can't move into attack it, but I can prepare an attack, right?
No,
It takes
that's
two
I
actions.
think it's
Oh,
six directions.
then get behind cover.
Yep.
Take cover. Yeah, that's one action. Mhm.
Sure. Okay, I'll
Take
let you do
cover.
that.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you
I
take.
do that in the sheet.
I believe it's a condition that you add. All right. So that fly is down. I forgot again. Sorry. Souma.
Yes.
Souma.
Well, in this case, I think since I can't see any more flies, I will have to continue distributing courage as an action, and well, without seeing, I can't cast cantrips on it, so I will move to the door, and just the rest I will. Well, I will forfeit my next action just and just wait until something will happen later.
All right. Then, Ali, you want to add the Inspire Courage effect to Birke?
Oh,
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Drag
You
it
can
down.
drag it from the chat.
Thank you very much.
There you go. All right. So finally, the fly comes into view. So let's see how many actions it needs to take. It's a fly speed of 40, so it's 1, 2, 3. So it's it can easily fly up to here. Since you took cover, I would say that you don't have an attack of opportunity anyway, probably.
No.
Yeah.
I don't believe I do.
Right, flies here. You took cover, but that triggers Arthur's attack for sure. So Arthur moves in the initiative, and at the fly. Just a regular strike from his crossbow. And look at him go. That is 7 points of damage that he inflicts. And did that work? No. Oh, I injured myself. Heal. Damage. Alright. That was his ready action. Then the fly gets hit by that crossbow bolt. I don't know. With Birke and cover, is it going to attack Birke or is it going to continue to fly towards Arthur? I'm going to give this a 50-50 chance if it notices Birke there hunkering down in cover. And he does not. So he moves past Birke and towards Arthur, who immediately yells out, get off of me! And it's going to try to strike Arthur. That's a hit. It does 7 points of damage to him.
This square is difficult terrain, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Ottardo is going to take his reaction, which will grant Arthur resistance 3 to this damage.
Ooh. So what was that again that you?
That is Retributive Strike, which is
Okay.
when an enemy within 15 feet damages an ally within 15 feet, the paladin champion can take a reaction to give the ally damage resistance, and if the creature is within reach, he can take an AOO against it.
Okay. And you had this extra feat to be able to take a step, right? But
Yeah.
since it's difficult terrain, you can't step
Yep.
into it. That's why you were asking. I got it. Okay. All right. So Archer is actually not hit as badly as it first looked, but that proboscis has certainly not been in better places. So Archer is going to roll and fail. So he is going to have to figure out what to do next. And we'll see about that when the time comes. But as I said, it certainly can't be good to have that thing rip wounds into your flesh. All right, Lucca.
Yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward. He's just gonna call up some fire and blast away.
All right, that's a hit for 7 points, and you blast and burn the fly pretty badly, but it manages to stay afloat.
And he's going to use his last action to just back away a little bit.
All right.
Maybe over behind Ottardo.
It's Ottardo's turn.
He will raise his shield, stride next to the creature, and attempt to strike it.
Okay. And it's a miss. Birke.
And his turn, yep.
I will take a short step forward and give it a good old strike with the glaive.
That is quite the stab. That hits. Roll for damage. 12 points of damage. You impale the fly in the air, and as you retrieve your glaive, you just kind of have this giant fly at the tip, and you shake it off, and it just goes as it slaps.
The crustaceans. They stick in the weapon all the time.
Okay. Otto looks at his wound and he says, "Oh boy, I hope that doesn't get infected." And he immediately sits down to try to patch himself up.
Just try some alcohol. I recommend internally.
But no, you're supposed to put alcohol, not drink alcohol.
Okay, so I think there is a... There it is. If I select a token, treat wounds.
Mhm.
Trained. Because there is a trained wounds macro. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Success. 2d8. There we go. Heal. Awesome. Okay, yeah, that's the. He's gonna be busy for 10 minutes looking after his wound.
Well, this place is upsetting.
You only now coming to this decision?
Oh no, maggots, flies, it's all part of the natural order. I mean, mind you, they're usually not that large, but I'm sure there's a perfectly normal explanation for abnormally large crustaceans.
Of course.
What is this? Lucca like steps up and looks into the room.
Before we move on, actually, 64 XP for everyone. And
Oh.
by the way, on your sheet you can type plus 64 and then hit enter, and it should do the math for you.
Mm-hmm.
If
Oh,
you
There
had
we go.
Witchcraft.
just math. Oh yeah, I guess it is witchcraft.
Yeah, math is witchcraft.
All right, and then Lucca steps into the room. It is really gross, as I said, but if you are bold enough to look around here, then please go ahead and search the room. Okay. Those of you who look around find nothing that seems to be of value, but you do notice in the ceiling, 15 feet high, you spot a trapdoor, which is actually also like halfway open. Looks like that must have been the way that the fly was able to come in and go as it seemed fit. There's no ladder to get up there though, so you would have to climb up to get there.
Do I understand correctly though that this room has the remains of dead horses in it?
Yes.
It's hard to tell. It's like just animal carcasses. They've put a horse on the map as an example, but there's all sorts of remains of animals, like some woodland creatures, like some deer is probably also in there, some rabbits.
Okay.
Yeah.
But does it look like normally butchered carcasses or just
No,
rotten?
it does look like they were, like you see what's obviously blade wounds, so it's not like the fly killed these creatures, most likely. So somebody must have dumped these here.
But who and why?
Mm.
We
Shall
have
we move on?
encountered
Yes, please. I don't not want to linger in here any longer than we have to.
that trapdoor 15 feet up. Can I see anything through it?
You see the sky and a little bit of the canopy, maybe, of like some vines growing. So this leads to the outside.
Okay. Oh?
Miss Birke, will you open the door for us?
Nope. Sorry.
Opening the door.
Didn't.
And you're back in that hall.
This answers the question of what lies on this side, but there are yet more doors, he says, pointing across the way.
Okay, I mean, we are getting paid for this pest control work, are we? Father always said never do anything for free.
Let's just say we're gonna pay in exposure at least.
And Otto says, sure, you'll get your pay when we find our man.
Exposure
Okay.
to diseases, perhaps.
As you
But
move
this
on,
is actual work.
Right, wait, hold on a second here. Okay. Everyone except Ottardo. You notice some high-pitched squeals and shrieks from within this room. Even before Birke opens the door, but now that you've already done that, and we can assume that you carefully opened it.
Of course, I'm a professional.
Yes, there is. Once again, the ceiling of this room has collapsed, as you've seen in other rooms. But below, even the floor has crumbled into a 10-foot deep sinkhole filled with rubble, mud, and glistening patches of fungus. There's evidence of ancient damage, so there are burn scars and acid scorch marks. They decorate the walls and much of the rubble. And from before you can even look over the edge of this sinkhole, you notice those shrieks and those sounds, as if sounds like some mifflets fighting, but you can't see them. It comes from within that sinkhole. So, how do you want to proceed?
I will carefully peek over the edge.
All right, then I guess I'm gonna have you roll a stealth check against their perception DC here. I'll give them a penalty because they're distracted. So roll your stealth. All right. Well, you're obviously not the quietest person, but they're so distracted that they don't really notice you. You see 4 of the little rascals down there, and they're clearly fighting over what looks like a bright blue mushroom or something like that.
Have I seen or heard anything about magic mushrooms? Blue mushrooms?
You can give me a knowledge nature check. Just a nature check.
Yep. They don't go well with salads.
There's so many of them. It's probably just a tasty treat for them.
Okay. I will hunt for one of the midfits. Midflits. And that comes with a recall knowledge. Would that also be in nature?
Let me double check. I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, we're really.
Yeah, it's a really bad run.
Yeah.
I mean, in combat it was fine, I guess, but all the
Yeah.
skill checks and just a string of bad luck. Well, apparently there are also sapient crustaceans around.
No, I'm not that dumb. I know this is a kind of fungus.
Of course, no,
Look,
and you
blue mushroom, blue little goblins. Obviously, a fungal outgrowth. I'm gonna say expertly and
Also,
confidently.
Artu had already explained these creatures to you, but you just have to rely on his expertise here. You do know anything about them, but you do recognize that they're the same kind of creature that you've encountered before.
Okay. I'm going to move around. So I found action. Okay, what's my movement speed?
I'm gonna ask you
25 feet.
I'm gonna ask you for another stealth check as you continue to move through this room.
Does
Okay.
Ottardo have a sense of how deep the sinkhole is from where he's standing?
From where you're standing, you would think that the sinkhole is about 10 feet deep.
Okay.
And Birke, as you move over there through the corner, you just kind of have your back to the wall, and you have to sidestep around the sinkhole, and you by accident kick a rock into the sinkhole down below, and it goes tumbling and goes clunk, 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 and one of the mid-flit's ears kind of just like perk up, and they turn around, and their dark, beady little eyes fix on you, and it's just gonna yell something in Undercommon that you don't understand, but the message is clear: attack. So that's what we're gonna do. Move back into an encounter here. I'm gonna add everyone. Okay, Lucca's already in here. You can use that stealth check for your initiative here. Do you know how to do that, Alan?
No, I was just gonna hit roll initiative again. But
No. There's a button next to that stealth check you rolled, next to the 10.
Ah, yeah, I see.
And that should put the 10 as your initiative.
There we go. Did that work?
It did.
Yes.
And then we're gonna roll these guys. And oh man, Otto is really rocking the initiatives today. Okay, here we go. All right, everyone obviously hears the shouts from the mid-flits, and Artur, being the one I think in the group who understands Undercommon, says, "Oops, sounds like Birke got herself in trouble." And he is going to, what's he gonna do? I think he's just gonna delay. He's not one to storm into a room, so he's just gonna delay. The mid-flits down there. How are they going to defend themselves? Because they are 10 feet down in the ground. Give me a second. Okay, I got it. All right, so which one is the first one? This one. It is going to grab a dart from one of the from this like makeshift bandolier that it is wearing. And I believe it's an action to grab the dart and a second action to throw. Then it's a hit. And it does 2 points of damage. And then it draws a second dart. The other mid-flit here, down here, is going to move. Well, it doesn't have to move. Why is that already another range increment? Probably is. Yeah, it is. Okay, so then it's going to move to be not too far, so far away from you. So 1, 2 here. And then it is going to grab a dart and throw it as the final action. And it hits too for 3 points of damage. And then it's, whoops, and then it's Souma.
And, well, like, so, Mr. Ottardo, so this is why we please don't turn the corners without us, okay? And now, let's get in. And since someone will initiate Inspire Courage, and she will move in. Like this, and yeah, I think that is my full movement, 25 feet, and I don't have actions left to cast a cantrip, so I guess I will pick one of these creatures and try to insult him.
Try to insult him?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Alright, you choose a foe within 30 feet. There was something about not speaking the language, right? Linguistic. Oh, a linguistic effect that targets a creature works only if the target understands the language you're using. And you would know that, so I'll let
Yes.
you.
Well, that is one. Well, that is one action that I can do for one action right now. So I can.
Okay.
Well, I can try to demoralize them just by making a loud noise. That's also one action.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do that then.
Sudden shout. One time tolerant. Damage resolved. Okay. So
in that case, Soma will strike the chord on her summoned instrument, barge in, and strike a pose and yell something very metal. I suppose that's how bards do it.
all right. You yell at the midfoot down in the pit, and you strike a pose with your instrument. And apparently, just this visual is so intimidating that midfoot, without understanding the words, is frightened. But just barely so. Okay.
Yeah.
Ottardo. Oh, Alejandro. You want to grab the Inspire Courage effect?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Thank you. Courage.
All right, Ottardo.
Soma just said something about not turning corners and immediately did that. Ottardo is confused.
Exactly.
He is going to move into the room to see what's happening. Okay. They're all in a hole in the ground, and does he see any way of getting down that doesn't involve jumping in?
You could try to climb down the walls. They're not very smooth. Probably easy to climb.
Would he do that? I guess he will take one action to sheathe his axe. And with his last action, he will raise his shield, and then he'll see next turn about climbing down. Maybe he'll step to the side, just to complete the previous movement.
Mm-hmm. So that was just one action, and then?
So one act was to move inside the room, one act to sheath the axe, and one act to raise the shield.
Okay, got it. All right, then the midfoot down here. And Soma is striking a pose up there. It takes that as an invitation. Whoop, doesn't have to move. As an invitation to try to hit her with a dart. But misses. And then it just reaches for another dart as its third action. Birke, your turn.
I don't really want to fight them.
Well, they're trying to fight us.
Yeah, but I mean, we are kind of just barging in. I mean, are they really the scourge and danger that we're supposed to be protecting Ottardo from?
Arthur said so, so...
They're a bunch of little goblins.
Yeah, Lucca, like, steps
I'm not gonna, like, and they're literally in a barrel.
Birke's turn now. Lucca's turn is next.
So, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry. I completely... I
I'm
thought I
not
heard
going
Lucca.
to fight. I'm going to punch on ahead. I'm not gonna walk through the door. I'm just gonna kick it open, see if anything's on the other side. Finish my movement on this side.
Okay, that was I guess 3 actions, yeah. All right.
Yeah, one to move, one to kick the door, one to move here.
Move again. All right, Lucca.
Yeah, Birka and Lucca sound too similar. Yeah, sorry. I'll step in to try and see what the situation is. See, Birke is already all the way on the other side. These obnoxious little things down here. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, he's not necessarily looking to like go in guns blazing all the time either. So he's going to take two should be two, I believe, to get over to here for him. He is curious about what's going on with these doors, so he's going to use his third action to try and open this door.
Yeah, so you kind of have to lean over and like really get close to the wall and kind of like try to push the door open. You can, so open it. And you find you can get to peek into a 15-foot stone walkway that spans a narrow stretch of swamp water, which you can't really tell, but yeah, it's good. Just remembering the outside of this, you would think that this is kind of like the connecting little walkway from the main part of the keep to that large stone outbuilding that you've seen before in the southeast corner of this complex. There's a set of doors to the southeast, and standing before that door is a 7-foot tall skeleton dressed in armor made of gnarled roots, bones, and rusted metal. And the skeleton is clenching a morning star in one weathered hand, with the weapon's heavy spiked tip resting on the walkway at the skeleton's feet.
Oh.
This suddenly turned into Elden Ring.
Well, I'm out of actions, so.
Right. So that's what you do.
I can't. Right. How do you lean again?
You and then.
Okay. I don't. I still don't. Yeah. Wait. Does it? Q. It says I'm leaning, but
maybe you need to be in the selection mode. It looks like you're in measuring mode.
I'm in. I think I'm in selection mode. Okay. It is trying to take me all over the damn map. Regardless, I don't actually see the thing. I haven't seen its token or anything, but I assume it's there. That's it. That's all Lucca's got. It's undead, maybe. So that's interesting. But not given the current circumstances, not ideal.
All right.
So that's all I got.
Okay. The fourth and last one of the mid-flits is going to grab a dart, target Ottardo, and throw it at him. Ooh, that may be a hit.
That is a hit which he will block.
Okay, so that shield absorbs the 1 point of damage. Oh, it says you took 1 damage.
It's because I forgot to actually click to raise the shield.
Hmm.
But I'll just roll it.
Okay, so and then as its third action, it's gonna grab another dart. Tours. Oh, right, he had delayed. He could have taken his turn earlier, but never mind. It's going to move in, and he sees them down there, and he is going to yell at them in Undercommon. You don't really understand what he's saying. But it's clearly like he's pointing to each one of you around the pit, and pointing at his crossbow, and just you're getting the gist of it. He's telling them like, "Are you insane? That we're going to murder you?" And he's trying to bully them into submission, essentially, or at least another one of them. One is already frightened, so he's going to pick this one. to intimidate. But despite the fact that he speaks their language, he does not seem to make a big impact on them. So they just kind of snarl and yip something back, and he says, they think that we've been sent by Ottardo to defend the town against the invading force. They are delirious.
So they are invading force.
What?
Huh?
What?
No?
Arthur said they think we've been sent to defend against an invading force.
Yeah, they consider themselves an invading force, and that we've been sent to defend the town. And he's like, they are delirious. They illusions of grandeur.
So they do consider themselves as invaders and not, just people
No,
trying
they're
to
defenders.
leave.
No,
Peacefully.
They're not defenders.
they think that we have been sent by the town to defend the town against them.
Well, we kind of.
Even though no one in town has ever said anything about midflits out there, so it's that's why Arthur is. They are crazy.
Yeah, but like the question is, do they think themselves as coming to invade?
Apparently.
Because that's going to make probably our consciences easier.
Yeah, I mean, if Ottardo is basically Ottardo is like, so they think they're invaders, and Otto says, yes, they say that Ottardo is theirs. They are nuts. And he just shrugs and then takes a look at this one and just tries to strike him because he doesn't have enough actions to devise a stratagem, but he misses. And then the midflit's turn comes up. What do we have? This one is frightened, but that's okay. He can still attack. He's gonna he's holding a dart and he's gonna throw it at Ottardo. Where is his sheet? There it is. Throw the dart. Miss. Grab another dart and throw it. And misses. Another midflit is this one, who is currently holding a dart as well, and is going to try to throw it at Birke. Okay, Birke sees a dart getting hurled her way, but easily dodges the attack, and he grabs the second dart and throws that too. And, oh man, critical miss. Alright, and it's Souma.
Well, Soma in this case actually have rather clear consciousness because, well, they tried to pincushion her with darts. So she will continue inspire courage in the party, and the next the one of the darts that they sent into the party will rattle on the floor and fly back. Although in this case it will again will be a telekinetic projectile. Right on this guy again. I still have him select.
Shoots towards it and
misses.
Okay, then it's Ottardo's turn.
Well, if these things are invading Otari, that makes it easier in his mind. He will attempt to climb down. Where are the skills? There are the skills. I'm assuming athletics.
Yes, it's an athletics check to climb. 16. Let me see. Why does it not include the actual number? It just says like expert task. So what does that mean? Is that 20 or 15? I guess it's 5, 10, 15. I think. Isn't it like starts at 5 and then it becomes harder? Let me just check that.
Oh, you have sample climb tasks.
skill checks and skill DCs. Expert is simple DC is 20. Okay, so you have a regular failure, which means you like start to climb down there, but you don't really make any progress with your first action.
Wow.
Now, there's no rigging, no rope, nothing like that. It's just a couple of handholds and footholds.
Well, maybe we can just walk past them and leave them there.
Your call.
I think Ottardo is going to tell the group that let's leave them in their hole. And he is going to move, and gesture that he is going to go through the door.
All right, so he's just like, let's just be out of here. Okay.
Yeah. So the attempt to climb is one action, the move is one action, and last one he will raise his shield again.
Okay. Then we have a midfoot down in the hole who is going to try and, well, has two targets. One is Souma, one is Arthur. Oops. All right, so Arthur is its target, and it's going to throw a dart it's already holding, and misses, and then it's going to grab another one and throw that one, and misses too. So that's another round for this midfoot, and then it's Birke's turn.
Can I go through here, or is it just rubble?
You could go, but it's difficult terrain.
So, what makes more sense, just to go back through the door?
Whichever way you prefer. Your call.
I mean, yeah, rationally, though.
Difficult terrain is just like rocks and uneven and things like that you can walk
But
through.
it doesn't look like, okay, I'm just gonna be making an ass of myself.
No, it's just that you have to move like slowly and carefully because it's unsteady.
I mean,
but
yeah, but it's what I would waste moving to the other side. So, yeah, I
exactly.
clamber over the rubble.
You're out of there. Okay. That was action one.
Yep. Do I see anything around here? No, right? We've been here before.
Yeah, you've been here before, essentially. You see this double door across the hall. You see another door over here.
Sorry.
That has not been explored, but you've seen the general area before.
I think I'm just gonna pass turn and let everyone else catch up.
Okay, Lucca. Lucca.
Has the skeleton reacted or moved at all? Done anything?
It's just sitting there and resting its hands on the Morning Star. You want to take a closer look at it?
Sure.
Like spend an action to actually muster it. That would be a perception check. Why can't I suggest a perception check for you? There it is.
Okay, he'll eye it up. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, if you really look more closely, you can see the wooden struts and the crude lashings that keep the whole thing together. It looks like the Morning Star that it's resting on is actually part of the whole contraption, keeping the whole thing propped up. It's just what is it, like a scarecrow, essentially.
Oh, terrible shame. We'll come back to that later. He'll, well, I guess he's not going to bother shutting the door because that's a whole other action. He sees the others moving out of the room. I guess he's going to follow them. 50 feet will bring him over here.
All right. So that's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Reactions.
I believe this midfoot should no longer be frightened because it was just frightened one. And then, all right. So as you move around the corner, you hear them down there in the hole. They kind of look at each other, and you get the sense that they're saying something to the effect of like, "What are they just going to ignore us? That's just rude." and they start running towards the wall. Especially here, there's one, and they are surprisingly nimble climbers. They have a climb speed, so they just kind of like just climb up the wall with no problem whatsoever. It draws a little short sword, a little rusty blade on its way up there, and then tries to stab Ottardo in the calves. And that's a 24 to hit.
Yep.
For 1 point of damage.
Which he will block with his shield.
So you just kind of like knock it away with your shield, yeah. All right, so let me think. This is like running towards the wall and up. It can actually do that with one action, has enough movement. And then drawing the weapon as part of the movement, is that possible still, or do you have to spend an action on drawing it?
I think it's a separate action unless you have like quick draw, which lets you draw and strike or something like that.
All right. Okay, so then it's just, and that was its turn. Arthur says, "Oh, looks like we insulted their pride," as he reloads his crossbow. Takes a close look at this one to devise a stratagem. And see how that might turn out. That would look good. So he's going to take that shot as a second act or third action. And that's 8
Wait,
points.
you just targeted Ottardo.
Right. That's still
I think it's yeah. You're on the GM side, so you got targets.
Yeah, I have
both
to,
as a
yeah.
PC and yeah.
Yeah, it's annoying that it doesn't just remove the targets after the turn. All right, so he just shoots that mid-flit for 8 points of damage, which means it's brutally wounded at this point. But that was 3 actions, so now this mid-flit here is going to run up the wall, draw a short sword, and meet Arthur toe to toe, and then try to stab him. Short sword strike. Ooh. That's 2 points of damage that Arthur gets, but he does seem a little like taken aback by the sudden boldness of those creatures. All right, so that was that. The next mid-flit is this one. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, it is this one. And it is also going to draw a weapon, run up here, all the way up to the edge, and try to strike Ottardo. Hitting, potentially, probably. Ooh, for 5 points this time. You already did your shield block, so I guess you have to take this. And then it's Souma's turn.
Well, let's continue then. Firing first, then what if? So target this one, the who is closest to Azur and Soma herself. So once again, the darts that these might have given to us start flying back at them. Ooh!
Oh, wow. And it is a critical hit. And you do... But that's just a regular damage, right?
Yeah, you could have rolled.
Yeah. You didn't...
It spell doesn't actually give me the option to roll the crit. I guess it's just double now.
But it says critical success, you deal double damage, so it should be double damage. Okay. So that's 12. Nope, that's dead. That's your turn?
Yeah.
All right, so that projectile shoots at the mid-flit, knocking a hole in its skull and toppling it. Ottardo, all of a sudden beset by the mid-flits.
he is going to spend one action to draw his axe, yelling at the stupid Amethysts, now you want to fight! Oh, I forgot to target. It was the one who's still climbing, because that maybe makes it flat-footed.
I think not with a climb speed, but it doesn't matter. It's a hit.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Cool.
And last action, he will raise his shield again.
Okay. This little bit flit sees what's happening, sees that their little burst of aggression is met with one of its friends dying, the other one being very near death, so it is going to try to run through that open door. 1, 2, 10 feet up the wall. That was one action. Second action to get over here. Third action to open the door. And then it's Birke's turn. Ali?
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just hearing a little.
Yeah, you probably heard the sounds of combat this time.
Yeah.
But it's
Just
a bunch
starts.
of splits. Like, I'm sure it's just. I'm just waiting by the door. Like, what's taking them so long? Why can't they just go around? You know, avoid the little goblins. And yeah, we'll delay action.
Okay. Lucca.
True nuisance these things are. He's going to just target the one that was already hit, and he's going to try and finish it off. Ugh.
Miss. Well, in this case, I actually have to quickly figure out if it is considered flat-footed while climbing, because that would be the difference. Climb. You move up down. You're flat-footed unless you have a climb speed. All right, that makes that easy. So it's a miss.
Okay. He will, I suppose, try to spook it with his third action as he just kind of leans over the edge and he says, "You do realize you're about to die," and he knows the thing can't understand him, but he's just hoping that like a kind of growling sound in his voice makes it clear. Demoralize. That's intimidation.
Nice. Okay. Okay. So where's the frightened condition? Frightened. There we are. And 26, is that possibly a critical success? What was the DC there again? Is it the will DC?
It's the will DC, yeah.
Then that would be a critical success. So does that make it even frightened 2 or something?
It would be frightened 2, yeah.
So I'm going to increase that by 1. All right. Okay. Yeah. So it's frightened for sure. Oh wait, you don't speak the same language, so it's actually not good. Okay. But it is still, nevertheless, is frightened for sure, and it actually lets off of Ottardo, climbs back down, and it's saying something to its friend, and saying something that sounds like strong, and then it runs across the pit and climbs up here and starts moving through this walkway. And Arthur just yells after it, yes, you go and tell your boss Kronk will be coming for him next. And then Arthur is going to devise a stratagem with this guy. I think he has to reload first, and then he tries to devise a stratagem. And yeah, I will definitely take this. Oh, that's 18 points. Look at that. Boom. Just kills the mid-flit. As he said, like, we'll be coming for your boss next. And kills the one that was apparently supposed to be left behind to keep you busy. That was Arto's turn. Souma.
Well, I feel a little bit awkward just sending darts into the back of the retreating goblin or whatever, but well, guess I will have pangs of consciousness later.
Yeah. You shoot a piece of rubble after it, striking it for 11 points of damage, and bringing it down, and it just falls dead in the door on the doorway, as it gets hit in the back by that piece of rubble. Ottardo.
I guess we saw one run through the door, right?
One has already run through it, and the other one just got stopped in its track.
Ottardo is going to call to Miss Birke, the mid-flits are running away. And then he is...
Well,